Yeah. Can you tell me when you stopped being a tomboy? Stopped hanging out with your brothers?
I never did. They ran off and left me.
Oh.
They grew up and moved away. And when they grew up and moved away, we were farmers at the time. And we had a tractor and we had a mule. And I couldn't drive the tractor, but I'd sure get the mules and go out there and plow the crop. With the mules.
Tell me what it was like working as sharecroppers.
It was a tough job, long hours, hard work. We picked a lot of cotton by hand.
A little money.
Little money, for us anyway. And my dad had a game that we didn't catch on to, and it was competition between us. And my oldest two brothers, it was competition between them, and it was competition between my third brother, one next to me, and me. And the competition was the one that picked the most cotton got paid. So we'd work our little hearts trying to make sure we would beat the other. But in the meantime, we were picking a bale of cotton a day.
So tell me what a typical day was in the field. What did you guys do? How early did you get up?
Oh, very good.
So it's get daylight?
No, not soon as daylight. But if you were 8 o'clock, you were late. And you worked to lunchtime. You got about an hour's break for lunch, and then you worked to sundown.
What about school?
In the fall of the year, when we were picking cotton, we got a chance to go to school basically on rainy days.
So that was common in the area?
Coming to my dad. Coming to my dad. We'd go on rainy days. In the wintertime, there were a number of times I remember that we picked cotton when the ground was frozen. And he would throw it during the day, and you'd have to try to walk through that mud, and he'd count pounds off the sacks because there'd be so much mud on the sacks. We'd have, 8-foot cotton sacks, and we'd pick cotton. And if you didn't have 50 or 60 pounds of cotton in that sack, you hadn't worked. And you were expected to get that sack full several times during the day. I got to the point where I could pick 300 pounds a day.
Wow. So cotton can be picked all year round, or?
No, it's in the fall of the year.
Oh, okay.
Starting about the last of August usually, but usually not really in until September. And depending on how much you had, how many acres you had, would be how long you'd have to pick. Because sometimes the weather would be where you couldn't pick, so you just had to let it stay out there. But the goal was to get it before the weather turned too bad, because when the weather turned bad, somehow the quality of the cotton was something that would change and the prices would drop. So the goal would be to get as much as you could before the bad weather set in.
Okay.
That was what that was all about. And yes, during the fall of the year, we went to school when it wasn't raining, basically. And I don't know how, but I managed. And this was during high school years too. But I managed somehow. When I didn't go to school, I telephoned, I contact my friends and find out what was going on in school. And I don't know how it happened, but I graduated number 5 in the class.
Wow.
I loved school. And I worked. So when I wasn't there, try to catch up, do what I can at home from talking to my friends so I can keep up with what's going on. But one thing that I know I won't, well, I won't do again. But I think the thing that I hate the most about it is stripping sorghum.
Molasses.
The stalk, that the molasses that they take to the mill and grind and get the juice out of.
Oh.
Because as you strip those stalks, that stuff fall all down on your shoulders and get on your collar, whatever, and it itches terrible. That is the one thing.
How young were you when you first went out into the field?
5.
Just a joint land, you were working
I went out
away.
at 5 because I wanted to be where my brothers were,
Oh, okay.
okay? And I was dumb enough to learn what they were doing. So when my daddy saw that I could do what they were doing, then I was required to do it.
Were you working your own land or with
We started out working sharecroppers. When my oldest brother finished high school, he was going to college. And the owner of the farm did not know he was going to college. He found out and told my dad that he didn't go to college and he wasn't providing a place for anybody to go to college. And my dad says, fine.
That's what he said though.
Well, basically,
Okay, Daddy, tell.
He ain't first no house to send no niggas to college. That's what he said.
Wait, can you say it again? Exactly what did he say?
He ain't first in no house to send no niggas to college. That's what he said.
Mm.
my dad says, fine. And because of that, my dad went searching for his own land. There was an older man a few miles away that had a large farm and had been farming his farm. He had the equipment to farm his farm with, but he was older and retired. And he sold my dad the farm that we have now. And in the meantime, my dad did not have any tools to work the farm, and he let my dad use his tools. And the one thing he told my dad about the land with the price he had let him have it, the one thing that he did not want is don't sell his land to a white man. And from there, we worked our crops, and when we finished our farm, everybody was wanting us to come work for them because they knew how we worked. We put in work because once we gathered our crops, we go to pick cotton for other people. Because we were noted for, even when we were working for this sharecroppers, his only job was he knew we'd pick a bale of cotton a day. And by the time he think the bale was ready, he'd come out the field and pick it up and take it to the gin. So they could clear the wagon that night, it'd be ready to go the next day. So they ginned over into the night.
You told about the shack house. You told about the shack house? Or where we at?
Now, when we moved to
Yeah, or we moved. When first knew how to send no niggas to college.
yeah, I told about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and while we were living in his house even, before we got to that point, how far did we have to walk even to get water? We didn't have any water near our house.
you didn't have
say
indoor
it's
We had to
plumbing?
walk up to his house
Yeah, it's probably, I'd say a quarter mile.
to get water and tote it back in
Quarter mile.
buckets.
To drink and
To
eat?
drink.
Drinking water.
And when Mama did the wash, she had a barrel. She either catch rainwater or would have to get a barrel and hook it to a slide and go
That's
to
right.
his place and hook the mules to the slide and bring the water to the house that way for her to walk. But before that, I even remember at the same man's place. I don't know what the circumstance. I was a little girl, but I remember that I would go with Mama, over in a hog pen where there was a pond. There was a pond, and I guess Daddy took a wash pot down there to the pond, and he had to get the water out of the pond and put it in the wash pot and heat it. And Mama had a wash tub, and a scrub board, and washed and hang the clothes on that fence surrounding that hog pen to dry. Because we didn't have a washing machine. And during that same time, before we got a washing machine, I was one because Mama was sickly a lot. Stayed pregnant a lot. Mama was sickly a lot. And I would have to wash bare blue jeans on that scrub board, and the washboard wasn't the best in the world. So I didn't know what cuts all my nose from scrubbing their clothes on the washboard.
So you were working in the field and you had to come home and do house chores?
No, not usually. But if I was there, so we couldn't work in the field, I'd work at home.
What they do?
Play.
That's why they're strong black women.
That's exactly why women are strong today.
Watch your mouth.
Oh, I don't know what hour. Oh, yes, I do. I remember when I cooked my first meal. It was when Rita was born. I stayed at home. Well, I don't know what we were. Well, we was we were still pulling cotton in February.
Hello, everybody. Got my work done.
Oh,
Hey, honey.